What's good, y'all? L Famous, living my life, not thinking about it twice. Don't be scared to like, subscribe, or share this dope content if you like it. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Now, this joint right here is about the BX blocks and gangs growing up in the 90s, 80s, in the 80s, 90s, and the thousands. You heard? Yeah, B. Let's get it, B. Yeah, let's get it. Now, I remember, you know what I'm saying, when in my era, when I first started being out the house, you know what I'm saying, was when I was like 5, 6 years old, going out the house, you know what I'm saying. I used to go to 53, you know what I'm saying, and when I used to go to 53, I was having a rough year, you know what I'm saying. My mom's on drugs, you know what I'm saying. So I was wearing all last year clothes. You heard? My grandmother had moved out, left my mother the apartment, and it's like once my grandmother moved out, I went. My life went down after that. You heard? My mom's lost everything. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't even taking care of niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? And niggas was little, man. Niggas was a kid. B niggas needed her. You know what I'm saying? But that it was a few people like that, but around me, I was like the only one like going through this crisis that I was going through at the time. So I remember going to school. I remember cutting school one day, you know what I'm saying? I'm only in like third grade or some shit, and I'm cutting school because I'm sick, you heard? You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna like I like a couple of kids just snapping on me, you heard, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm having difficulties. This is like my first time really having difficulties in school, like third grade, you know what I'm saying? And the difficulties was coming not from just my education of learning, it was coming from what was going on at the house, you heard? Because when my grandma was around, I was living great, living good. You know what I'm saying? Um, Home box, all that other shit. But then my grandmother left my mom's apartment. My mom's went down. You know what I'm saying? It's like my mom's couldn't do this shit without my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So um, nigga went down, you heard? And basically, I was going through something. So I was cutting school, walking around 22, you heard? 22 was the junior high school, you know what I'm saying? Um, that everybody from the neighborhood wanted to go to and that was going to. So I was walking around junior high school, 22 in the schoolyard and all that. And I remember running into this black brother, and he had on the black and purple beads. You heard? So I'm like, yo, what them bees is, because I already knew what the black and white bees was, the red and black bees was. You know what I'm saying? I knew about Zulu Nation, Baby Zulu, Ball Busters, you know, and all them type of gangs, but I ain't know about the purple and black bees. So he was like, he had a cane, he had mad medallions and all that, the Africa joints and all that. He was like, yo, I was like, what's that? What gang is that? He like, oh, this the Black Panthers. You heard? And he started talking a little stuff, but you know, I understood him, but I didn't understand him because I'm a kid. You heard? I just understand the beads. You heard? The gang. You heard? You know what I'm saying? I just know when you got on color beads, you went down with a gang. And I seen black and purple, and I never knew about black and purple because I always knew about white and black, or red and black, or this color and all that color. You heard? I'm like, I ain't never seen purple and black. You know what I'm saying? And nigga said, nah. He said, the brother said, Black Panthers. You heard? And then he gave me some spell on it. He wasn't no young dude. He was an old dude at that time. You heard? I said, oh, all right. Boom. So I'm keeping it moving. So now, as I get older in my era of gangs, I had niggas to look, I mean, niggas to walk. That was out there. You had the niggas like the Chaos Posse. You heard? Yeah, my man Mo Blind, Baki, Jason, um, Chuchi, um, motherfucking Darren, Indio, Eli, um, um, a few other dudes, you know what I'm saying? But they was all official. They all was putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? They were always busting their gun at a young age. You understand what I'm saying? They always running around like old niggas. You know what I'm saying? And the niggas was official. That was my age group. gang of niggas, you heard, that was putting it in at the house parties, coming around the schools, 145, 22. You heard, they never used to really come around 166. I remember one time they came around 166 and niggas almost got into something with them niggas. It was Chuchi and them niggas though. You heard? You know what I'm saying? It was Chuchi and I forgot the other niggas that was down with them, but it wasn't the main niggas, cause Mo Blonde and them niggas was locked up at this time. You heard? But I remember they used to be frequent in 22, 145. They probably used to go over there by 147 too. You heard? But I remember them niggas used to be putting in a lot of work. Their name was ringing on the young tip, especially Mo Blonde, you heard? And then I remember in 145, my man introduced me to Mo Blonde because he was in 147 with Mo Blonde. I forgot my man's name. He was from uptown. You know what I'm saying? And because I went to 145 with Snag too. Snaggerpuss, you heard? That was down with Doo-Wop. It's my guy. Shout out to my guy Snaggerpuss. He's still out there. Sean, it's my guy. Anyway, a lot of fishing niggas went to 145. And I remember my man introduced me to Mo Blonde because they came from 147 together. They got kicked out around the same time. You heard? And I don't think Mo Blonde was going to school. He was just be hanging out. But them niggas had an official clique putting in work. It wasn't no young niggas around the hood, around the whole hood. I don't give a fuck if you go from 170 all the way around, nigga. It wasn't no young niggas putting it on like chaos out there like that. You heard? Niggas was 13, 14, B. You heard? Putting it on for the X. You heard? And then while they had their gang, you had Chris and them up. Brooklyn Chris, that moved up there. He been moved up there. But when he moved to the Bronx, when he moved to 166 in college, he brought the Brooklyn Lowlifes with him. You heard? Yeah, he brought the Brooklyn Lowlifes. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got familiar with the Lowlifes. Because them Brooklyn niggas was coming up here with Chris, and them niggas was linking with all the official Bronx niggas. Mo Blonde. Remember Saquon? You heard that had the dead arm? Yeah. Saquon that had the dead arm. Boom! Knocking niggas out. You heard? Yeah. Saquon was official. You heard? Shout out to Saquon. I heard he's still out there. You heard? I be seeing a little short Phil from 161. He official. He used to be with them niggas on 167 and all that. I don't know if he used to go down there to be with them or he used to lay down there. But I know Phil used to be with them. You know what I'm saying? Official. I be seeing him here and there. Shout out to Phil. He from back in those days. You heard? Chris in them days. You heard? Putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was bugging back then. Bugging. But niggas was smooth criminals, B. Them niggas was smooth criminals, B. That's word to my mother, man. That's word to my mother. You heard? Them niggas wasn't no herb destroyer niggas and none of that. They ain't fuck with no young niggas and none of that. If you was young and gangster, they pulled you in, B. That's how Chris and all them niggas was, all them gangster niggas from down there was back then. If you was a young and you was official, they'll pull you in, B. You heard? That's how Mo Blonde and niggas got pulled in. You heard? With the older niggas, you know what I'm saying? And plus Indio and all that. You know, Indio's Chris' little brother. You know what I'm saying? So that nigga had everything. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas all had Woolridges. You remember the Woolridge joints? The big Woolridges? And back then, a Woolridge was big deal, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because Woolridges came out after the Troop Jackets. Remember the Troop Jackets that looked like Woolridges? But they was Troop Jackets, you know what I'm saying? And the Troop Jackets faded out and then everybody started wearing the Woolridges, you know what I'm saying? And you couldn't get a Woolridge from anywhere. Only certain places sold Woolridges. Back in those days, I got my Woolridges from Tin Trails, you heard? Tin Trails, B. You know what I'm saying? My man Mike from down there. Mike, you heard? Mitch, you heard? Y'all know him as Mitch, Germs co-defendant. My man Mike was the first nigga to take me to Tin Trails, you heard? Yeah, B. Shout out my man Mike. He locked up right now, I heard. You heard? But I heard he got a sweetheart deal. Anyway, um, yeah, Mike was the first nigga to take from down there to take me to Tin Trails, you heard? So them niggas had the Woolridges, so official joints, you heard? Which is course, it wasn't even about the course. Niggas didn't have them. Niggas did not have them, you heard? Everybody didn't have them Woolridges, man. Only older niggas getting money niggas had them Woolridges, man. You heard? Not because they costed a lot, because you had to know where to get them. That was the style. You heard? Niggas brought them shits in the style. You heard? Them Parker joints with the hook fur around the joint. Even to today, them shits is in style. That whole style. The Parker with the fur around it and all that. The hoods and all that. They got thousands to millions of them shits. Different labels and all that now. You heard? You know what I'm saying? And so you had the Chaos. You had the Low Lifes. You heard? Chris and them brought the Low Lifes. Ronald, Tyson, Lil Ock, Polo Dangerous. They was just calling him Polo back then. Always had that big mouth. Always was treacherous. You heard? Them niggas knew what they was doing when they was booking niggas. You heard? They used to be booking niggas, B. Hitting niggas' pockets, fiending niggas out. You heard? Robbing niggas without a gun. You heard? Those was the most officialist niggas that was robbing niggas without a gun. You heard? That's why when I started robbing niggas, I was good at it. You heard? I'm just keeping it 100. You heard? Because who you follow is who you learn from is how you gonna go at it. So I used to be hearing about them niggas, being around them niggas in the parties and all that. You know what I'm saying? I used to be uptown. He used to be messing with the light-skinned joint. He had the Shirley almost touching the floor, jewelry, young, face-looking nigga. You heard, but you could tell he was on his shit, nigga. Ak was a grimy nigga. Ak was official, nigga. And I was in the 9 with him, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Ak was official. You know what I'm saying? Little nigga, but that nigga hold his own, nigga. You heard? And he get busy. You know what I'm saying? My man Ak. You heard? I ain't seen the nigga in years, B. I ain't seen him since the nigga in 91 when he got cut, B. I was right there when he got cut, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Steve-O cut that nigga, I think, and that's why that kid Scar blew flames out of that nigga Steve-O. Blew flames out of that nigga Steve-O. I was with Steve-O in the house with him, and that nigga had no cut, and then one day, I was back on the other side. I woke up, I seen Steve-O on the other side on the gate. That nigga had a railroad track, you heard? A railroad track. He didn't have a cut, he had a railroad track. I was like, oh shit. And I started asking him out. I ain't know that nigga Steve-O got cut. When he got cut, they was like, yeah, that nigga Scar blew that nigga head off. I said, oh shit. They said, because that nigga, it wasn't a fact, but I think he had cut out. You heard? One of my mother niggas blew flames out that nigga Scar. You heard? Scar blew flames out that nigga. You heard? That nigga bid probably changed after that. Steve-O really turned into a beast. He was a beast already, but he really turned into a beast. A lot of niggas ain't like Steve-O. You heard? But he was that nigga down there in the 9 at that time on the Brooklyn side. You heard? Can't take nothing from him. He was that nigga. You heard? Him and Popcorn was over there. You heard? From Marcy. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Popcorn had the jack, and he had the other jack. And then on the other side, Preem had both jacks, but Preem had wound up giving the jack to I think matter of fact, when I first got there, Preem didn't have both jacks. Preem had one jack, and I think the dude Vardo and them Brooklyn niggas had a jack. I think. Now I'm not sure. Because when I first got there, the kid Vardo and them was there. And he left. You heard? I remember him leaving. You know what I'm saying? Because every day niggas leave and niggas come in. You heard? And they had a mean Brooklyn mob in there. You had Low, different niggas in there. And I'm going to get into that story again to give y'all the full-fledged on that one. Because that's a good one. You heard? But, yeah, B, you had the Low Lifes and them niggas and all that. I was in the 9 with Ock, you know what I'm saying, when he got cut. When I first got to the 9, Ock was there and Raw Dog, you heard? And Wacko, you heard? When I first got in the 9. You heard? So that I could tell you that story. I mean, that time was official. That time was official. And you got you had the low lives. You know what I'm saying? Low lives up there doing them in the Bronx, 166 College. Chris got them up there. He come from Brooklyn. He bringing the official low life niggas around. Them niggas is robbing niggas, bugging out and all that. You heard? They bugging out so much. Chris wound up robbing niggas on the concourse, trying to rob the Dominican niggas on the concourse for some shine, and nigga wound up shooting that nigga and shooting that nigga in the face. So Chris had his mouth used to be like on the side, it was a big scar on his mouth, and where his jaw hung a little. You heard? And he used to wear the fronts, so it just made him look more grimier. You heard? The nigga already was a grimy looking nigga. That shit just made him look more grimier. Nigga always had an ice grill, always looked like he's scheming, always looked like he about to rob a nigga, always like he about to do something to a nigga. You heard? Chris, you know what I'm saying? And that ain't slow him down. That nigga still was bugging after that shit. He probably turned it up after that. You heard? But anyway, Chris had the low lives coming up there from Brooklyn, you heard? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I started knowing about the low lives, you know what I'm saying? And them niggas is official. And they rocking that low. All they rock is low, mainly, you heard? You know what I'm saying? So boom. You had them. So then those gangs died out because them niggas started going to jail. Them niggas was going hard. Like I told you, Chaos and them niggas was 13, 14 busting their gun. So by 15 and 16, them niggas was already all going to jail, going to Spofford. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Them low life niggas that was coming up, Chris and all them niggas, and Echo and Raw Dog and Saquon and Phil and Eric and Mark and Garbage the Dead and countless other niggas. You heard? That whole mob, that whole hood down there, them niggas was going berserk on robbery. Berserk. You know what I'm saying? Niggas knew what them niggas was all about, baby, when you see them niggas. Then you had the niggas from Clay. 50 Mad Dogs, 30 Mad Dogs. I had it wrong. Because when I was in 145, I used to go to school and I was hearing about the 50 Mad Dogs from Clay. 50 Mad Dogs from Clay. You heard? So I always thought the 50 Mad Dogs was from Clay, but I got corrected through my man More Blind and people. They said that 50 Mad Dogs wasn't Clay. 50 Mad Dogs was on 169 in Sheridan. So I stand to be corrected. But I went to school with a lot of niggas that was down with 50 Mad Dog. So now their name was ringing bells too. But I always thought the older niggas from Clay, they used to be on between Webster and Clay on 167 on the strip. Man, older niggas with 40 belows and the Timbs and all that, and big coats and jewelry, talking that gangster shit, you deep voice ass niggas. I used to always think them niggas was from 50 Mad Dogs Clay. You know what I'm saying? But I stand to be corrected. But put it like this, them niggas was making a lot of noise, but they was on an older tip. You heard? But them niggas was making a lot of noise. Everybody knew, do not go down there on Clay with nothing. With nothing. Your ass gonna get beat up by over 30 niggas, or they was doing shit down there in Clay that you hear about in the movies, nigga. Yeah, that's my word. You was hearing niggas getting stripped and all that in 371, beat up, and for girls, in front of girls, getting beat up in front of they girl. Yo, them Clay niggas was doing niggas dirty back in those days. Like I told you had the young niggas, Mo 9 and them niggas, the Chaos Posse, busting their gun. Then you had Low Life and them niggas, Chris and them niggas, influencing the Chaos niggas too. Yo, this shit was crazy down there. Then you had the fucking 50 Mad, 30, whatever Mad Dog niggas. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was berserk. And I knew a lot of them niggas because I went to 145 with a lot of them. So I knew almost everybody. And I was going to all the house parties, so I was knowing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shit was crazy. But like I said, all them niggas was wilding so much, them niggas wound up start going to jail. Niggas wasn't really getting killed like that. Niggas was going to jail. You heard? Them niggas was disappearing. You know how when niggas go to jail, niggas just start disappearing. You hear niggas' names and you see niggas and next thing you know, you don't see niggas no more. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was disappearing. So when them niggas started disappearing, going to jail and all that, that's now our era. Is really, we got all the you know what I'm saying? We was right there watching all the real shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes participating in some of the shit too. You heard? So nigga got experience. Man, next thing you know, we went up, we started our own joint, the Blue Top Posse, 163rd and Sherman, between Sherman and Grant. The same block where the DA got killed at. You heard? DA got killed on that block. That dude from Barner Place and all that. Them niggas was fighting or shooting over the block or some shit. And the DAs used to come up from Bronx Criminal Court, used to come out of there and go to had their lunch and all that on that block. Cause they had a few restaurants on that block. Jamaican restaurant, Spanish restaurant, Far Family had a restaurant on that block. Chinese restaurant. So it was a few restaurants in the store on that block. And a few DAs used to come around out the courthouse on lunchtime, and they come around the corner and they go get their lunch. And one time a DA was going around at the wrong time, and some niggas was out there shooting over the block, and them niggas wound up shooting and killing the DA. That nigga was up north. I was up north with that nigga. That nigga too. That nigga did a lot of time. I think he home now. You heard? But yeah, he killed the DA by accident. And that nigga went down to the motherfucking ground. And we was on that block getting nothing but money. You heard? Blue Top Posse. You heard? Two of everything. You heard? Nobody wanted no beef with us. We was the youngest niggas in the hood all around the area. Niggas, we was going everywhere. Niggas already knew what it was with us. You heard? Niggas ain't want no smoke. This is before niggas was even out the motherfucking house. A lot of these niggas. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So boom. Shit crazy. Blue Top Posse. You heard? We did it up. Then you had other crews out there. You had on Cypress, you had the Wild Cowboys. You heard? I was locked up with the my man Raw Bass. You heard? Shoot out to Raw Bass from Cypress. You heard? My guy Raw Bass that was down with the Wild Cowboys. He in the book and all that. You know what I'm saying? They got that nigga as the telephone murder. You heard? I used to be fucking with that nigga in Clinton all day. My Dominican man Raw Bass. You heard? That was down with the Wild Cowboys from Cypress. He told me all about that shit. Live and direct. Fuck that book. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that nigga Raw Bass, that's my nigga. I used to be fucking with that nigga in Clinton. I said, shut up, nigga. You ain't in for shooting and killing a nigga in a telephone booth, nigga. They got you in the book as a telephone murder, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. He's like, shut up, hell, man. Nigga be coming at me. Yo, we used to be going at it, me and my nigga, you heard, in Clinton. You heard? Raw Bass down with the Wild Cowboys, you heard? And they was telling me about, you know, that niggas was killing a lot of niggas. They killed a lot of niggas over there on Cypress, you heard? They was killing drug dealer niggas, but a lot of niggas they killed was crackheads, you heard? They killed a lot of people, drug people, you know what I'm saying? They was throwing niggas off roofs, shooting niggas, taking niggas to the roof, killing niggas. They killed one nigga in a telephone booth. That's the shit my man Raw Bass was in jail for. You heard? He was, you know, that shit was crazy, B. He had to do state time, and I think he had to go to the feds after that. You know what I'm saying? Do some time. Yeah, that shit was serious, B. They took them niggas down, you heard? And one of them niggas, they gave like 800 and something years or something, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was killing mad crackheads and shit, B. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was bugging. You know what I'm saying? So you had the Wild Cowboys out there. Then you had the Vamps. That was some other Spanish niggas that was from Mount Haven. You know what I'm saying? Projects, you heard? And Puerto Rican niggas. And they was going by the Vamps. Now, they was doing some treacherous shit. They came up and they went right down quick. But you heard the people talk, you heard the niggas talking about them. Yo, the Vamps, the Vamps, the Vamps. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Cypress, Patterson, Millbrook, Mount Haven, Beekman houses, all that shit was crazy as a motherfucker over there. And I'ma tell you, everybody over there was killing niggas. You didn't hear about no fights. It wasn't about no fighting over there in that whole neighborhood. It wasn't about no fighting. That's word to my life. Everything that you heard about Cypress, Beekman, Patterson, Mount Haven, Mitchell, all that shit was bodies. Young niggas was 13, 14 from the projects, from the blocks, bodying shit. That's my word. I'm not faking none. And I'm going to tell y'all this. A lot of y'all niggas, if y'all remember, go back to the Allen, back in the 91, 92, all the 90s, in the late 80s, and look at all the Bronx niggas that was locked up. A lot of them dudes was from Cypress and all them areas I just named, because they was in jail a lot because they had bodies. Not attempt murders, bodies. Word of my mother. Because when I first went to the 9, everybody that was from Cypress and all that area, Preem, all of those, I forgot the Spanish dude name that was from Cypress when I first got there. Me and him was mad cool. You heard? A few other people. All of them had bodies. Everybody had a body. And on the street, I already knew the rep about Cypress and all that shit. Because the first time I went to Cypress with my man one day to see his girl. You heard? I remember when we came in the building. As soon as we came in the building, it was a nigga on the steps with a Mac. You heard? With a Mac out on the steps, with like this, with his this. And he know my man, because my man girl he come to see his girl. We ain't from Cypress, we from my block, but we come to see, I'm with my man, he come to see his girl. The nigga know my man, but the nigga on the 3rd floor with a Mac out, for nothing, looking out the window and looking down the steps. You heard? You could tell there's something going on. You heard? But at this time, I'm thinking that he got the Mac out for nothing. You heard? Because he regular. You know what I'm saying? So we go up in my man Shorty house. Well, matter of fact, we didn't even go in the house. This is at the time when you talking to your niggas is talking to their girl in the hallway. You heard? We talking to his shorty in the hallway. You heard? Boom. She like on the 4th or 5th floor. The dude down there like on the 2nd, between the 2nd and 3rd. You heard? Looking out the window. So boom. All of a sudden, it's time for us to leave. But when we walking down the steps, the dude with the Mac ain't there no more. But now when we about to get out the building, all you hear is da 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 da. Yo, luckily my man had the cab waiting for us. We ran out the building, jumped in the cab like a movie. Niggas, we ran past the nigga with the Mac. He was the nigga busting. He was busting at some niggas and some niggas was busting at him. You heard? When the busing stopped, we ran and jumped in the motherfucking cab and got the fuck up out of there. You heard? I don't think I went over Cypress no more after that. You heard? I don't think I went over to Cypress no more after that. That's my word, nigga. You heard? So I'm just letting y'all niggas know. Back in the 80s and 90s, Cypress was nothing to fuck with. When I say nothing to fuck with, I'm talking about nothing to fuck with. You heard? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about just the Wild Cowboys. The Wild Cowboys was doing what they do over there, or they did what they did over there. But I'm talking about the whole Cypress and all that area was always crazy. Always. And they wasn't into no fighting. They wasn't fighting. You know how like other places, shit might start over a fight and then lead to gun? Nah, B. Over there, everything start with a gun. You heard? Words, you got words with a nigga, you don't like a nigga, them niggas is killing you, B. They was killing each other over there, B. Mad niggas died over there at a young age, B. And mad niggas went to jail over there at a young age, B. So Cypress was crazy. You heard? I'm telling you, it wasn't a lot of places in the Bronx that was like Cypress and all that area over there. You heard? Because the other wild area, which is 183rd and all that, they was wild too. And they had bodies too, and they was bodying you up there too. But it was nothing like what was going on over there on Cypress. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. It was nothing like what was going over there on Cypress. Then you had to do Calderon and them down there. Then you, that's B.O. and all them side. That's Showbiz and all them side. You heard? You understand what I'm saying? And then that whole area rose all the way up to Forest. Because then you had Forest jumping off. Forest, the 25 to Life crew. You heard? Shout out to them. There was another gang, another clique that was putting in a lot of work. The 25 to Life crew from out of Forest Projects, where Fat Joe from. You heard? Because before niggas was talking about Fat Joe, niggas was talking about 25 to Life. Yeah? Raheem, I forgot them niggas' name. I remember I used to know them niggas' name like a motherfucker. My man just died. He used to do shirts with us, you heard? My man, he was 25 to Life, short dude, you heard? He was up in Showbiz in them video too. I Get Money, y'all. Pockets Fat joint, you heard? He just died this year, you heard? And or last year, that was my dude. No, last year, that was my dude, man. He was down with that 25 to Life shit. I used to be seeing him when I was young and up there on the hill, you heard? 25 to Life niggas. Them niggas was official. They used to be there up there deep, causing havoc. Then them niggas started locating out of town, getting money in Baltimore and all that. You heard? Putting in work out there and all that. Yeah, baby. 25 to Life. Making crazy noise out there. 25 to Life, man. Everybody know about it. 25 to Life, Forest Projects, nigga. The 80s, late 80s, 90s shit, you heard? 80s, 90s shit, nigga. Niggas gangs was crazy, nigga. Niggas would stomp a mud hole in your ass, nigga. Yeah, B, with some 40 belows on, nigga. And pop you. You heard? You coming with the guns, you always got a nigga, 2 or 3 niggas with a hammer in the crew. Niggas is running around with big coats on, 40 belows, chuckers, all kind of shit. Niggas wasn't even wearing constructions, B. Niggas was wearing 40 belows, chuckers, beef and broccolis. You heard? Niggas was coming through on niggas out here, B. Stomping a mud hole in niggas, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Stabbing niggas up, popping niggas. 25 to Life crew, B. Niggas know what I'm talking about. Niggas know exactly what I'm talking about, B. That's just my area. Then, used to hear about Bronx River. Yeah, Bronx River Projects. Bronx River, all I used to hear about Bronx River, that it was crazy up there, and you had the gang, the Zulu Nation. You heard? Yeah, the Zulu Nation. That's what B.O. and them niggas was down with. You heard? They was security. B.O. was security for Zulu Nation at one time. You heard? And I used to be hearing about Bronx River, Zulu Nation. I told y'all when I was in Tab, basketball team, going up there, the mad Bronx River niggas getting on the bus at the school 167. You heard? Because all them niggas, I heard them niggas used to go to school 167. So you know how like niggas be, all the old niggas go around the school after they got kicked out or they don't go there no more, just to rob niggas and because they got family or they hood go there or whatever. Yeah, so all the older niggas from Bronx River, they was from around 167. So we on the bus coming from Tav going to play Monroe High School in basketball. You heard? We in the back of the bus, half of the basketball team in the back of the bus, the other half is in the front. So all of a sudden, the bus stopped at the school 6-7 because the bus stopped right over there so it could pick up some people and keep going towards Bronx River Projects. So I look out the window, the whole bus looking out the window. You see some, no exaggeration, about 10 niggas, all big niggas, loud, rowdy, You can hear these niggas coming from, cause they running to the bus. They gonna catch the bus. So you could hear these niggas, you know, like you hear some goons coming, like niggas, everybody looking like, oh shit. It's happening so quick. Nobody can even say nothing, B. Nobody can even get on point with nothing, you heard? Now, one of the niggas that, our point guard nigga, he got a long rope chain that come down to here. He one of the first niggas I seen with a long chain, you heard? He had a long rope chain, and he had a piece on it. It was a little thin one, you heard? But he was a little dude, so everything looked good on him. Put it like that, it cost some money, you heard? It cost a lot of money, but it was a nice chain, because we young niggas, you heard? We in high school playing freshman basketball, you heard? You know what I'm saying? 9th grade, you know what I'm saying? So we were 14. Boom. So he got a chain on, he got his chain out, and he got a little piece on it. And he's sitting there, I'm sitting here, and my other man sitting on the other side of him. So them niggas come on the bus, they bum rush, because the bus is crowded. When I say the bus is crowded, the bus is crowded. I'm talking about crowded. These niggas still came on. You hear these niggas? I'm seeing these niggas coming to the back. They don't know that what they gonna see right now. They just coming on the bus. You know how I'm in the game. I know the game. So when you want that robbing shit, you peep all that shit. You could peep a nigga with a nice shine, and the nigga don't even know you peeped it. You heard? Because you ain't even about to be looking at him. You heard? And you don't already peep. He got some shit on his neck. You heard? But these niggas ain't do it like that. These niggas came on the bus. See, like, we sitting there, these niggas came on the bus like that. Stood right over us, just like this. You heard? Now say you the camera, it's him. And they standing over you like this. And you got all of them in front of us. Because once, like I told you, my man got the chain out. So as soon as you come back there, you gonna see him. You heard? They came straight up on niggas like, had their hand up like this. You know, had a hand on the ball. Mad niggas, you heard? And they had one young nigga with us, one young nigga with them that was our age. You could tell all these niggas is older than us, they bigger than us, they more experienced than us and all that. But they had one young nigga with them, light-skinned short nigga that was our age, you heard? And he was doing a lot of the talking, you heard? So boom. But he wasn't doing the talking at first. It was an older, big nigga that was doing the talking. The nigga that was leaning over the nigga like this. And he was like this. He was like, that shit ain't real, shorty. So my man fell for the trap. My man was like, what? My shit real. He said, word, that shit real, shorty? Let me see that shit. Nigga like, my man went like this. He had his chain out. He went like this. Man, I ain't let nobody see my chain. So the young nigga started talking shit. Yo, word up, B. You better take that shit off. You better take that shit off. Because you got to remember, we on a crowded bus and they robbing nigga on a crowded bus. They trying to talk low, but you know everybody knows what's going on. I'm talking about everybody knows what's going on. Everybody is minding their motherfucking business. This nigga said, yo, shorty, if you don't take that shit off your neck, watch niggas gonna hurt your little ass, you heard? My man went like this. I don't blame him because these niggas we was no match. Even with the whole fucking basketball team, we wasn't no match for these dudes, B. You heard? And I remember after they took the nigga chain, they started talking to the nigga. And they was like, yeah, shorty, what school you from? And I remember he wasn't really saying nothing. So the other nigga next to us, on the other side of him, one of the niggas on the team, he was like, we from Tav. He was like, oh, y'all niggas from Tav? What y'all going to Monroe? Play to Monroe? It's like, yeah, all right. So boom, when we got off, we had to get off at the same stop they was getting off. Because Bronx River, when we get off to go to Monroe, the stop, we got to get off on the bus. when you get off the bus, you look right there, you see the big projects right there, Bronx River. So all them niggas got off the bus with us. Them niggas was like, yo, Shorty, y'all gotta go that way. Monroe is that way. You heard? And them niggas walked off laughing and all that. And one of the niggas had the nigga chain walking off like this. And they was like, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. That I felt like I got robbed. You heard? I felt like I got robbed. You heard? You know what I'm saying? The way they treated us, B. So I knew from there, I said, yo, these Bronx niggas, them Bronx River niggas is treacherous. Treacherous. They robbed niggas like they was taking candy from a store, B. Word of my mother, B. They robbed niggas like they were taking candy from a store. Then, yo, man, the Bronx River niggas was crazy, man. Then I ran into my man. As I got older, I wound up meeting my man Op from Bronx River. Shout out my guy Op. We was on Allen together. We was in the Bing together. You heard? Me, him, CH, Duke Mafia. Light, Reese and them was on the other side. Half was downstairs in one main. There was a lot of people there that I didn't know. You heard? Because I was only there for a couple months. I ain't had no fucking real time to do. I wasn't even supposed to be in the Bing, but I was serving a 6 building time and 6 upper, high classification. So when we got into something, I caught 30 days in the Bing or some shit. Or 20 days, some shit like that. No, I just know 30 days I did. I did like 10 days in one main, and then I did like 20 days in the Bing, in HDM. They sent me to HDM 1B. You heard? And yeah, B. So my man Ak was from Bronx River. I asked him about that story, and I think he was the light-skinned nigga, the short, young, light-skinned nigga that was the youngest nigga out of all them big niggas. That shit was crazy that time, B. Word to mother, that shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. So running around. Oh, and then another time, it was me and my man, me and this dude named Rondell. He was my nigga, you heard? Me and him did a lot of shit together. And I remember one day, Monroe used to have parties, you heard? They used to have like after school parties. Like they used to let niggas throw. I think they used to let, because one of them DJs, famous DJs, is from up there. So he had a little juice where they used to throw little parties in Monroe High School gym. They used to let people throw parties in their gym. I don't know why or how, but I just know we knew about one. Rondell knew about one because he was messing with some girls, right? So we went up there. It's word of my mother. Niggas was having a party in Monroe High School. The whole Bronx River was from up there. You heard? The whole area was in there. I'm talking about, when I got there, I seen niggas climbing to the second floor of the school. Niggas was climbing the school wall, climbing into class, going into class with guns, going in the school, because you couldn't really get into school with your gun because they were searching niggas and all that. You wasn't getting in there with no gun on you. So niggas had two or three niggas climb up in the window with the guns so they could get the guns in the school in the party. That's word of my mother. And when I got in the party, the shit was off the wall like a club. But it was mad dangerous in there. You could tell mad little niggas, young niggas like me running around. Niggas had their gun on them. I went in the bathroom. Luckily, we knew official nigga from up there, my man that from Bronx River, that got killed back in them days. You heard? He got killed right after that. Years later, forgot his name, man. Short dude, low haircut, used to always wear the army coats. He was official from Bronx River, brown skinned dude. You heard? How we knew him because he used to mess with one of my dude's girl's sisters. He was an older nigga than us, and he was messing with the older sister, and my man was messing with the younger sister. So that's how we knew about the party. And he was official. He was like a OG nigga, a young OG nigga over there. Because he was young, but he was OG status, you heard? He used to get busy. His name was up. He had mad. I forgot his name. He got killed too. You heard? Damn, B. If I hear his name, I can remember it. But yeah, Bronx River, it was official, nigga. And they used to terrorize Monroe. You know what I'm saying? They used to terrorize Monroe. That was their school. Monroe was right up the block. They used to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So you had some Bronx hoods that was crazy. And I ain't even tell y'all about 103rd and all that. You heard? Because 103rd growing up, I grew up over there when I was young too. West Side, over there by Andrews, Lauren Place, all that. I grew up over there on Tremont, between Walton and the Concourse and all that. You understand what I'm saying? Niggas used to have house parties in Lisa House and all that. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I know about all them uptown niggas, you heard? Big Head Al, Flex, John Rambo, all them niggas, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Gary, I forgot that Bach was from up there because I used to know Bach from 6'6", down there with Chris and them and Mo Blind and them, but Bach we come from up there too. You know what I'm saying? Bach. Then you had remember little Eddie that used to dance? Little Eddie. Remember Kirky? Kirky was my little man. That's who when Kirky, little Kirky. Remember Kirky that got deported? I think he got deported. And his sisters in them, he had 2 sisters. You heard? Kirky and his sisters, you heard? So I was an uptown nigga for real young, you heard? Then you had my family, my brother and all them on the west side, on Lauren and all that. My cousin Pop and all them, you heard? Then you got the U-Mob, you heard? You got the U-Mob. The U-Mob was crazy. Over there was crazy too at one time. I remember it was a racial thing going on over there, like over there on the west side, over there by like Tremont, Burnside, and all that on the west side though. Like it was like a little racial shit going on over there. You had like a lot of Spanish niggas that they was killing a lot of black niggas over there. And then you had some black niggas that was killing some Spanish niggas over there. And they was on some killing each other shit. You heard? Spanish niggas wasn't fighting over there. They was bodying niggas. They was coming out with that ratchet. They couldn't take a loss. They couldn't take a fight over there. So it was a lot of fights over there, and then a nigga come back and murder a nigga. You heard? That's what was going on over there. And a lot of getting money. You had the family up there. You know what I'm saying? My man Eddie, Booney and all them niggas and his brother and them, God bless the dead. You know what I'm saying? And the family, but the only person I knew from the family was my guy Eddie from the family. You know what I'm saying? Jamaican Eddie, Crazy Larry and Danny brother from Davidson. That was my fucking guy. You heard? Rest in peace to Eddie. You heard? And Eddie was down with the family. He used to sell weed for them niggas. You heard? But Eddie, his brother Larry, and Danny was crazy and official. You heard? I went to school with Danny and Tab. And Eddie, but mainly Danny. I remember when I first moved to Davidson, I didn't even know Eddie and them niggas knew me like that. I knew we went to Tab and all that around each other, but you know how like you go around, you know niggas and you never talk to niggas and niggas never talk to you because you don't know niggas like that. Well, yeah, it was like that. As soon as I moved to Davidson, they was like, nigga, Eddie came up to me, was like, what's up? I can't believe I got Crazy Larry living on my block. I got Crazy Larry living on my block. And when I looked up and seen it was Eddie, and me and him never really talked before like that, and around Tab and none of that. But when he was talking to me, because I moved on his block, that let me know that nigga fuck with me, you heard? I was like, oh shit. So he's like, yo, you on my block now, man? Like, yeah, B. Boom, boom. Man, Davidson was another beast, nigga. Davidson was a beast, nigga. Every year, at least 3 people you know and talk to every day gonna get killed. That shit was wild over there. Every summer, yeah. You heard? Somebody you know or talk to gonna get killed, big. That shit was treacherous. Then back in before my era, Davidson had the dog mall. You heard that was Man and all them niggas. Yo, the dog mall, Randy and all them niggas. Yo, you had the dog mall from Davidson. Man, them niggas was treacherous, B. Them niggas was treacherous. The dog mob, nigga. I'm talking about the old dog mob. I'm not talking about no, I'm talking about the old dog mob. My cousin Man used to hang with, he was the youngest nigga, or one of the youngest niggas, hanging with all them older niggas from Davidson around that area. And all them niggas used to do was put in pain. That's all them niggas used to do was put in pain. Robbing niggas, beating niggas up, shooting niggas, all that. You heard? And then most of them got killed. Yep. Most of them dog mob niggas got killed, I heard. The real official dog mob niggas. And I was locked up with one of them at one time, Powerful. Because he originally from Brooklyn, but they moved to the Bronx, I think Davidson and all that. And I was locked up with him, and he was telling me he was one of the founders of the dog mob. They was from Davidson, 167, 176 up the steps and all that. All the steps, the 176 steps, the 174th steps, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And the 175th steps, you heard? But I heard them niggas was bugging out there on D Street. The dog mob. Niggas know about them. My cousin Man was the youngest nigga down with them. I can't even remember all them niggas' names. I just remember, I could just remember Big Randy. Yo, I can't remember all them niggas' names. I don't know. My man Kwame was down with them too at his time because Kwame started chilling. But the dog mob, man, Kwame and them niggas, you heard? Yeah, B. That's a whole nother story. That story is crazy. That story is crazy. The dog mob, Kwame and them niggas. Yo, bro. I'm telling y'all, B. That's just icing on the cake, man. That's just icing on the cake, man. You heard? You had Tremont. You had the West Side down there where Larry Davis from. You had the other side, Katona Park. You had Hughes. I ain't even tell y'all niggas about Hughes Avenue, man. Fonzo and them niggas, man. Fonzo, Sanford, Jamaican Peter, who else? Bob Ism, Baby, my son Loco. Yo, it's so many niggas over there. CO, yo, it's so many niggas over there that was crazy over there by Hughes Avenue and all that shit. Yeah. I gotta get on the line with my guy Emmett, babe. If I get on the line with my guy Emmett, man, y'all gonna get some legendary work with Sanford. You heard? The great Sanford, B. Sanford was official, man. Lost his life, B. You know what I'm saying? His story is even on the internet, you heard? You know what I'm saying? But I want to give y'all some stories of Sanford that niggas ain't never heard before. Never heard before. Sanford was the truth, nigga. I'm gonna just tell y'all one story of Sanford. I remember Sanford. He pulled up on our block in a car, and he had a book. He had the Mercedes-Benz book, and niggas was laughing at him and all that, right? And niggas was laughing at him because when you kids and you could joke with the older people as long as it's respectful. You heard? And Sample was official, and he used to pull up on us, give us money, talk shit to us, whatever. And one day he pulled up and he had a Benz book in his hand. And niggas was snapping on him and all that. Niggas like, yo, this and that, and this and that, and this Sample, boom, boom. Like joking with him and this and that. That nigga said some slick shit and threw the book at niggas. You heard? Threw the Mercedes-Benz pamphlet book at niggas. Boom. And came around the next day with that same Benz. You heard? Shitted on niggas. You heard? But he was laughing though. You heard? Laughing. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Sample was a gangster, nigga. That nigga only did 3 to 9 for a body, nigga. You heard? That's what a lawyer had got him back at that time. That's how it really was. You heard? I'm telling you, man. I need that sampler. I need that sampler. That's what I'm gonna bring y'all. Till next time. Let's get it, nigga.